welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing the Do I Have That Book Challenge. A lot of YouTubers that have been on BookTube for a little while have been saying that this is like an old-fashioned type of BookTube challenge and that they really like it, and I thought that it would be fun to do as well. And I have a paper here with slight abbreviations of the prompts, so if I look down a little bit, that's why. And I have a couple different books here to show you that fit the 20 prompts. So let's get started. The first question is, 1, do you have a book with deckled edges? I actually have 2 different options to show you for this. The first one is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Sorry if I mispronounced that, by the way. It's the 25th anniversary edition, and it's so pretty. It's got the deckled edges you can see. It's got, like little, let me show you, little flaps inside. It's just really nice. It was kind of expensive at Barnes & Noble, but I really like it, and it has deckled edges. The next option for this is The Weight of Ink by Rachel Kadish. It has deckled edges as well. Okay, then the second question is 3+ people on the cover. And if you've seen someone do this challenge before, you might have an idea of what I'm going to say. I'm going to say The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan, or Rick Riordan, however you pronounce it. It has, sorry, you can't see, 1, 2, 3 people on the front cover, just like a lot of the Percy Jackson books do. So that's my pick for this prompt. The next one is a book based off another fictional story or a retelling of sorts. For this one, I'm picking Stepsister by Jennifer Donnelly, which actually really just recently came out, and it obviously is a retelling of Cinderella, and the 3 Fates are also involved. I started reading this book, and it's really good, but I haven't finished it, and it's actually an ARC that I got while I was at Y'all West this year, and if you've never been to Y'all West, it's really fun, and I like it a lot. It's basically this book convention for, like, students and stuff. It's basically, Y'all, or YA Fest, but it's in the West, so they call it Y'all West, and it's really fun, and I got this book while I was there, and I even got it, signed by Jennifer Donnelly. Wait, let me find it. Hold on. I was very excited to get it signed, so let me find it really fast. Right there. Yay! And I got to meet her, and she was so nice, and yeah, it was a great time, and so this is the book that I'm picking for retelling. Next is a 10-letter title. Now, I had to look a little bit for this, but I finally picked Wishing Day by Lauren Miracle. There's 10 letters in the title, 7 in the first word and 3 in the second word, and this book was really good. I liked it a lot. I'm not a very picky reader. I'm not a very picky person, actually, so it didn't take a lot for me to like a book, but I thought it was a fun story and really interesting, so I liked it a lot. Next is, a book that starts and ends with the same letter. I was not able to find one, so I don't have that. Also, mass market paperbacks. I didn't know what mass market paperbacks were until like 10 minutes ago. I don't believe that I have any mass market paperbacks. I might be wrong because I still don't know much about them, but to my knowledge, I do not have a mass market paperback. Next is a book written with a pen name. I had to cheat a little bit for this, and I picked Harry Potter, the whole entire series, really, written by J.K. Rowling. Her name is actually J.K. Rowling, but she used her first 2 initials instead of her name. So, I'm picking that as the pen name, and this is the one I have on my shelf. It's The Chamber of Secrets. My brother has the rest of them on his shelf, but I have this one. Next is, a book with the character's name in the title. For this, I could have picked Cinder, or Harry Potter, or Percy Jackson, but I decided to be a little bit different, and I picked Always and Forever, Laura Jean by Jenny Han, which is the 3rd book in the To All the Boys I've Loved Before trilogy. I really like this trilogy a lot. I prefer contemporaries to fantasies at the moment, so I really like this as a contemporary. It's very good. There's good family values. There's a good romance. It's just a very good book, and I like it a lot. So I recommend that you read this trilogy, definitely. Next, two maps. A book with 2 maps. Here's another Jennifer Donnelly. It's Deep Blue by Jennifer Donnelly. I also got it signed when I got to meet her, but I'll show you the 2 maps. Here's one, which is the realms of the Mer, or the realms of the sea. And then this one is the realm of Miramara. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but here's the second map. You might think that they're the same, but it's technically 2 different ones. And I also looked at Children of Blood and Bone when I was trying to decide what book to pick, but that has the same map in it. So I did not pick that. Also, this stack is getting too heavy to hold on my lap, so excuse me while I put it on the floor. There. Okay, so next, moving on to the next stack of books. The next question is a book that was made into a TV show. I do not have a book that was made into a TV show, but I have a recommendation. There's a book called Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett, and currently on like Amazon Prime, like the TV, there's a 6 episode little mini series. I don't know if they're making a season 2, but season 1 with the 6 episodes was really good, and it has David Tennant in it, and it's really good, and I love it, and I just 100% recommend. I've not read Good Omens, but it makes me want to read it because the series is so good. Okay, next is a celebrity book, and I was really happy about this question. It's not necessarily a celebrity book, it's just a book written by someone who is famous for something other than writing books. So for this, I have The Amazing Book Is Not on Fire by YouTubers Dan and Phil. I love Dan and Phil. I'm definitely part of the fandom. This book is really cool. If you're a fan of Dan and Phil, I recommend getting this book. And my friend bought this for me for my birthday in May, because she also loves Dan and Phil, and she knows that I love them. So she bought me The Amazing Book Is Not on Fire, and I'm so happy that I have it. And if you like Dan and Phil, you probably already read this. But if not, go and read it. It's very good. My cat just knocked over my pile of books that I put on the floor. That's alright. Next is a book with a clock on the cover. First, when I looked at my shelves, I was like, I don't think I have one. Then I was like, wait, I literally have a book called The Clocks by Agatha Christie, and it has a giant clock on the front. Me and my grandma, a couple years ago, went to go see Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie, and I really liked that movie, so she decided to get me some Agatha Christie books, or one Agatha Christie book, and this is the one that she got me, and so I'm very happy about that, and it has a clock on the cover, so. Next is a poetry book. I actually have a book written in verse, and this is Inside Out and Back Again by Tahana Lai. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that again, but this book is really good, and it has 2 different awards, you guys, and the cover's really pretty. It's really pretty, and it's just, the back is even pretty too. It's a really good story. I read it, like, when I was, like, in 5th grade, and I'm going into 10th grade this upcoming school year now, so it's been almost 5 years since I've read this, but it's so good, and I love it so much, and I 100% recommend. It's a really good story, and it's a pretty book, so just buy it. Next is, award stamp. That book could technically count because it has 2 different awards, but I decided to pick a different one, and that is Looking for Alaska by John Green, and there's the award stamp right there. I actually, again, haven't read this one. Got it from a different friend for my birthday because she knows I love John Green. Absolute trash for John Green's books. So, I'm excited to read this. I don't know if I'll cry as hard as when I read Fault in Our Stars, but I'll probably cry because I cry at books. Next, these next two questions I also failed at. But the next question is an author with the same initials as you. And I could not find a book with the initials WH. I just could not. It didn't work. I barely have an author. I have one book by an author, I think. Maybe more. But when I was looking, I only had one book with an author with the last name H. So, and not a W as the first initial. So I was like, I don't. Very sad. Next is a book of short stories. I do not have a book of short stories. I don't think. I looked, and I do not have one. So, I failed on those two questions, unfortunately. But the next one I was able to find, and relatively easily, actually. It's a book that is 500 to 510 pages long, and Scarlet by Marissa Meyer, which is the second book in the Lunar Chronicles series, is 505 pages. Apparently I had a Redbubble sticker in here that I forgot about, and it just fell out of the book. But, okay, the next one is a book that was turned into a movie, and this is actually the last one that I had, because the last two questions I also failed at. So, a book that was turned into a movie. I decided not to go with the Harry Potter books, because that's very cliche and simple, and I decided not to go with the Percy Jackson books, because one, I wasn't the biggest fan of the movies, and two, I already used a Percy Jackson book. So the book that I decided to go with was the book that made me cry the hardest, and it's not even The Fault in Our Stars. It's a different book, and it's The Book Thief. This book is so sad. Now, if I watch the movie, I haven't seen it yet, but if I watch the movie, I probably will not cry, because I don't cry at movies. I just don't. But this book, I sobbed my eyes out. I cried even harder than I did when I read Of Mice and Men. But, okay, which is also a movie. I sobbed while reading Of Mice and Men, and I sobbed even harder while reading this book. It's so good. It's so lengthy, and I think part of the reason why I cried was not also because it's heart-wrenching and it's so sad, but because I had to read this for school, and it's hecka thick, and, I was reading it at like 11:45 at night. I was very sleep deprived, very sad because of what happens in this book, but just a sob fest. That's exactly what it was. So the last two questions of this challenge are, do you have a graphic novel? I do not. And do you have a book written by two? Wait, I forgot. I actually do have a book written by 2+ authors, and I'm not going to stand up and get it right now because I have a pile of books on my lap. But it is Dear Evan Hansen, and there's 3 different authors, and maybe I'll put them post-editing on the screen. But I have that book, and that has 3 different authors in it. Yes, 3. So I'm happy that I was able to find one. And wait, and also here's a different one, and it's The Cursed Child by 3 different people. So there's another one. I'm happy that I was able to find books to fit that last prompt. So thank you guys for watching. Yes, my copy of The Goblet of Fire, I don't know if you just saw that. You probably can't. Oh, you can't. You can't see it. It's out of frame. This book is like split in half. Because it's very old. So it literally it's 2 halves of a book. And I just accidentally separated them. But, sorry this video was a bit of a mess. Thank you guys for watching. I really enjoyed this challenge, and even though I didn't have all the books to fit all the prompts, I still had fun. And it let me see the types of books that I have, and I'm happy. So again, thank you guys for watching. If you want, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below if you want. Thanks, guys. Bye.